Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Bukar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson for In the News on August the 16th, 2022 at 12:22 p.m. Central Standard Time in the noon on this Tuesday afternoon. And this is a news article. This is from yahoo.com. Business, financial, and the highlight of this news article, and it reads from August the 16th, 2022 by Harry Robertson, and it reads, China has dumped US Treasuries for a 7th straight month as it defends the yen against the dollar. It says China has cut its holdings of U.S. government bonds for the 7th month running. Official data Monday shows. It says analyst has said China could be trying to prop up its currency, the yen, as the dollar surges. China may be also looking to diversify away from the dollar assets, abandoning geopolitical tensions. And it says China sold the U.S. government debt for the 7th straight month in June, and a potential sign that Beijing is trying to defend its yen against the dollar. China holding of the U.S. Treasury fell $967.8 billion in June, down from $980 million in May. Treasury data shows that Monday it has dropped sharply more than early, what stood as $106 trillion. Analysts has put forward theories as to why China has slashed its bonds in the recent months, most suggesting Beijing is trying to boost its yen against the dollar, as it has become somewhat more nervous about holding U.S. assets, given the recent rise in geopolitical tensions. Chris Turner, global head of markets at ING, believes an ongoing sell-off is probably driven by the desire to protect the values of Chinese currency against the surging U.S. counterpart. Right, because the United States surging dollar, that's going to drop very soon, because everything is going to be full digital. You know, that's when that MOTB comes in. That Revelations 13 verse 16 through verse 17 through verse 18, because everything is going to be implemented of everything digital. You know, everything is going to be digital currency, and that's why I brought out this article, because it makes sense, because you already have the tensions going on between the United States and China over the South China Sea with Taiwan and all that, for an examples. You know, why all this tension arise, you know, that's why China and the United States, you know, China want to cut ties from the United States. They want to separate themselves from the United States. That's why I believe it was like last week, close to 2 weeks, you know, China had made that statement that, you know, they wanted to cut diplomatic ties or military ties or any particular issue in regards to even if it's economic or domestic issues or military issues. You know, they cut ties from the United States. Now with this article right here just coming out, that China is definitely going to cut ties with the United States and with the stocks and bonds and treasuries and everything like that, you know, because China is trying to protect their own currency. they trying to develop their Chinese currency, because everything, because they trying to separate themselves from the American dollar, even though the American dollar is surging right now. I believe it was an article that was last month that the United States dollar was surging more than Europe dollars. But that's going to change drastically, because you're going to have, everything is going to be currency, digital currency. That's what's going to be more value, because a paper dollar is not going to be no more value no more, because everything is going to be fully implemented in digital currency. And that's when that MOTB is coming to full effect, just like Joe Biden signed that computer chip deal so they can compete with China with the technology industry. So that goes to show you what the tensions on an economic scale between, China and the United States, as they in competition with one another over global technology, the new modern day global technology, on an economic scale as well too. So that's why China cutting ties from the United States for the 7th grade time with the Treasury. And then China is continuing trying to develop their currency, their digital currency, their yen, their dollar, as they continue to separate from the United States, as geopolitics is increasing tensions between China and the United States. But continuing on with the news article, it says Chris Turner, global head of market at ING, believes that the ongoing sell-off is probably driven by desire to protect the value of the Chinese currency against its surging U.S. counterpart. It says this is most likely a function of Chinese foreign exchange intervening to keep the USD CNY table in a strong dollar environment. He said in a note that the ditch of banks clinics early this month. However, said geopolitical considerations are at play too, given many governments are concerned by the move by the U.S. and its allies to freeze Russian foreign current reserves. Right, just like I read an article yesterday too. I believe it was like United States is unable to freeze assets of like millions, close to billions of dollars in money assets for the Afghani people. So I guess that's another prime example, but I think that's a different conversation or a different situation. But but continuing on with the news article, the U.S. and its allies to freeze Russian foreign currency reserves, I meant to say. A further decline in the Chinese U.S. Treasury holdings looks like it's a geopolitical spears of influence shopping, as the Russian invasion in Ukraine has seized Russian FS reserves. He said the yen has fallen sharply against the dollar this year, as concerns about the Chinese economy has growing, as the U.S. Federal Reserve has high interest rates. The cheap currencies typically makes exports of competitive, but Beijing has appeared anxious not to let its currency slide too far. Suzanne Gerharman, if I pronounce the name right, of the SGH Marco Advisors, agrees with the turn that the sell-off could continue as geopolitical friction between the United States and China runs high. Those tensions have flared since a visit by House Nancy Speaker earlier in August to Taiwan, which claims as part of the territory. The drive is to reduce the U.S. exposure has been ongoing objective of Beijing, but on which repeatedly being re-emphasized private by officials, and its apparent accelerated. She says China is a still major foreign holder of US Treasuries. It says China is still a major foreign holder of US Treasuries, second to only Japan, the officials showed in figure of the original article on Business Insider. So yeah, this goes into digital currency as China dumps the U.S. Treasury for the second straight month as it's defend its yen against the dollar. So yeah, this is a competition now more increasing. First it was increased war tensions. Now this is economic war tensions between the two nations. You know, the two powerhouses. You know, China being the top powerhouse of technology, as the United States trying to be in competition with this. So these two nations are definitely highly increased in competition with one another on the economic scale and war type scale as well too. You know, and I'm gonna bring out the Revelations 13 and 16 that shows you that the MOTB is coming. You know, they rolling out the functions of the MOTB, which is the Quran, you know, because everything is going to be full digital currency, because that lets you know more signs that the paper dollar is going to be no more value, you know, even though the paper dollar is highly valued right now at the moment. But when that time comes, because everything is going to be full digital, the money currencies, the digital currencies, the technology currency is going to be all digital, you know. And that's when the MLTV comes in. That's why Joe Biden's saying that that multi-billion-dollar deal for the computer chip industry, so it can be in competition with China as far as technology with the computer chips, you know. And that's the rollout of that's the process of rolling out of the MOTB, you know. We are in those stages of the MOTB is being implemented, you know, and along with the full digital currency, you know. This is Revelations 13 and 16. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, because we are definitely living in the book of Revelations, as you see it right before our eyes, you know. If it comes to like war on an economic scale, and that's what we're seeing, you know. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads, "He causeth all, both small and great, rich and full. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a mark in their right, HAN, or in their FOREHEADS. Right, doesn't matter if you rich or poor, free or bond, you know, to the rich, to the poorest, you know, because that hour of temptation is going to come. You know, because when that paper dollar is no longer in existence, you know, hey, that's when you gotta to be able to sustain yourself, to remain in society. You know, you're gonna have to take that, you know what, you know, that charagma, you know, that's gonna be implemented in your BODY, you know. Because that's the time is coming for that, as you seeing signs of that, because we are in the stages of process of the MOTB is being fully implemented, and we are definitely living in a time where everything is going to be full 100% digital. We're living in an all-out full 100% digital currency, as the paper dollar is no longer be in existence very soon, as we're entering those times that the paper dollar is not going to be no more excessive of high value no more, especially around all the countries as well too. As you see, the nations are dipping away from the US currency dollar, even though it might be in high value right now at the moment. But you've been seeing other nations ditching the dollar and forming their own currency, even though they might have foreign exchange money currency between the nations. But now you're starting to see other nations are dipping away from the US dollar, as they trying to come with their own currencies, trying to increase their currencies, trying to increase their GDP of their economy, trying to revive their economy, trying to serve up their economy and their technologies and manufacturers and goods and etc. This is Revelation chapter 13 verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, said that he has the MARK, or the name of the BEAST, or the number of his name. Right, because that's when that hour of temptation comes. Either you down with this NWA, because they're gonna try to push further that agenda in 2013. All nations coming together, one world digital currency, because everything is gonna be one. Everything is all one. To maintain yourself in this society, you gotta be down with the NWA of its agenda and pushing forth that digital currency. They trying to, inform you to be able to cooperate, to be part of this modern day society. We gotta take that. You gotta take that charagma. Because everything is gonna be full digital. All your personal information is gonna be inside your BODY, your money currency, which is digital. Your personal information and all that. Because the paper dollar, because we're getting close to living in the times where that the paper dollar is gonna be no more value, because everything is gonna be full digital currency. That's what go down of that scripture, what it means. This is Revelation chapter 13 verse 18, and it reads, "Here is the wisdom, let them that have understanding, counting the number of the BEST, for it is the number of a man, and his number is SIX HUNDRED SIX. Yep. So yeah, that's that charagma, and that MOTB, that's when the paper dollar is gonna be no more in existence, because we are definitely living in the times of the paper dollar. It's gonna be no more high value, even though, like I mentioned before, the value of the paper dollar is value. It's in good value. It's in good shape right now for the economy. For a thriving economy, for thriving jobs, for thriving manufacturing, for thriving for technology. That's what we're seeing right now, because you got the United States and China in fully competition with one another when it comes to manufacturing goods and technologies and stuff like that. Everything digital technologies with the computer chips on computers, phones, laptops, cameras, etc. You name it, So these two nations are, in competition increasingly against one another. So now you got China dump the treasury for the 7th straight month, as they trying to defend its own currency and separating ties from the United States. as the tensions between China and United States increasingly, now more than ever, So yeah, this is another sign showing that the MOTB, it's quickly approaching, as I brought out those scriptures, Revelations 13, verse 16 through verse 17 through verse 18, and everything is going to be full digital, that digital currency, and we seeing more signs of that starting to show up a little bit more, in these modern days, So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And before I close out this sit-down lesson on August the 16th, 2022, at 12:42 p.m. Central Standard Time on this noon on Tuesday. So yeah, like I mentioned before, that push for the digital currency, 100% fully implemented of digital currency is coming. That MOTB, that Karagma, this NWA agenda is definitely approaching. Either you down with the, either you're, to be able to sustain yourself, to sustain yourself financially in the society, you got to be with that NWA agenda and that new digital currency, and they're going to show implemented in your BODY, that's coming very soon, They've been showing signs of that places like Sweden, Switzerland, Europe, and United States as well too. They showing signs of that MOTB, that full digital currency, because the paper dollar is going to be no more value. All your personal informations, anything that's personal to you, personal related, business related, your state ID, Social Security, all that is going to be all digital. It's not going to be paper no more. It's going to be paperless, and we're living in those times of the MOTB, that Karagma, because all your personal information, all that's going to be stored in your BODY, and that's the hour of temptation. Either you down with this BEAST system, this NWA, pushing forth closer than ever in 2013 agenda. If you down with this system, or you down with Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua, and Lord willing, the men of the Lord, the servants, the true prophets of Yahweh Yahushua, Lord willing, we could continue to stay on the righteous path of Yahweh Yahushua, be on the side of Yahweh Yahushua, when that time comes, that hour of temptation. Either you were down with the BEAST system, the NWA, all come together agenda for this new currency, digital, coming soon, or you're down with the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. Lord willing, we continue to be down with the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son as well too. So with that, I would say shalom and a ball.